you all about the history of Final Fantasy XIV. For instance, did you...
He kind of looks like our cat, doesn't he? He kind of looks like our cat boy.
know that Bard LB3 used to be the healer LB3? That's right. When a Bard did LB3, they would raise the entire part.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up. Let me turn off in-game audio. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay.
Pretty cool. In order to unlock the job, you used to have to level another job to level 15. For instance, to get Black Mage, you would have to get Thaumaturge to level 30 and Archer to level 15. And not only that, but all of these role abilities here, they used to be called cross-class abilities, and you would unlock them from leveling up other jobs and getting their skills. For instance, Swiftcast came from Black Mage level 26. So if you were a healer, you had to level Black Mage in order to have Swiftcast raise level 26. And Dragoon had Blood for Blood, but that worked on all the melees, so all the other melees had to level Dragoon to get the damage buff.
What?
Paladin ability.
Is that legit? Is this all like factually right? That's ridiculous. That's crazy. When did that change? So you had to level up other classes to get your class good. What? When did that change? Is that 1.0 or is that in some of the content? Quality of life changes. They fixed it over time. Okay. Where do I link the video? Just send it me on Discord. Years ago, it's 2.0. It's a level Swift. That is crazy. Between 3 and 4. Wow. From ARR. Wow.
You could only get it from Paladin. If you played Warrior, you had to level Paladin, or you didn't have Provoke. This video is sponsored by Ragnarok Origin. Link in the description below. Welcome to Ragnarok Origin, where the fantasy becomes reality. This epic MMORPG on mobile has begun pre-registration.
Who's
a fantasy open world and discover mysterious, fun, and evil secrets hidden in this magical adventure.
Who's excited for Ragnarok Odyssey?
Customization. Customize and upgrade your weapons,
yeah,
armor,
make that bread, bro.
Abilities, and more to match your playstyle and defeat your opponents.
This won't be on the test.
It's so
this part won't be on the test. Don't worry.
nice. Who wouldn't want to live a heroic fantasy life? What anime should I watch? Do I still watch anime? Of course. Yes. This is an MMO.
Nah, you shouldn't skip the ads.
Anime fans. So if Ragnarok Origin looks interesting to you, go visit the pre-registration site in the link in the description below and pre-register today. And they're even giving away a Tesla Model S. So yeah, I think that might be worth doing. And healers.
There you go. Go get your Tesla, everybody. Go get your Tesla. Go get your Tesla. Right.
Used to have this thing called Cleric Stance. I'm not talking about the old Cleric Stance that would buff your damage. No. I'm talking about old Cleric Stance. The one where you would have to push a button and then swap between heal mode and DPS mode. Let's say, okay, I'm in Cleric Stance. Now all of my DPS skills actually do damage, right? But all my heals don't heal. So now if I have to heal somebody, I have to pop Cleric Stance off and then heal them. And this was freaking great. You could tell people, no, man, I can't heal you right now. I'm in Cleric Stance. Yeah, they should bring that back. I think everybody would really like that.
They actually have the same thing. They actually have the same thing in WoW for druids. You can have like cat form for damage or like healing form for healing. Yeah, that's still in the game. Cleric Stance, was it a good thing or not? It was one. It makes you a DPS. Swap intelligence for mind. There'd be tanks and DPS stances. You're going to win the quiz. Nice. You never used it. It was always DPS. Choose which tank die. You're in Cleric Stance. Yeah. Cleric Stance with divisive. Okay. Not for everybody.
Yeah, here's a fun one. Here used to have
It's
accuracy stats on it, and you would need a minimum accuracy in order to even hit the boss. Yeah, there was a different number for the front, the rear, and the side. Yeah, so if you were a tank and you didn't meet the front accuracy requirement, guess what? All your hits miss and you don't keep aggro. Yeah,
Amazing.
So you would have to build your entire gear set around making sure you hit accuracy cap. It sucked. And
that sounds like a ball ache.
Look this beautiful and amazing. Yeah, in the beginning of the game, we didn't have glamours. Yeah, we looked like this. You know,
that's understandable.
Chest, hands from a raid, boots from a dungeon. Yeah. This one.
I think that's normal. Someone copied someone, right? Somebody copied someone. Like, someone copied like I don't know, WoW copied Guild Wars, and Guild Wars copied someone, and then we copied WoW, copied Guild Wars, and then Final Fantasy copied WoW. I don't know. There's obviously someone started it. Everyone has it now, don't they? Look how far we've gone. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Might actually be the biggest quality of life change. Yeah, in raids, when you wiped, your cooldowns did not reset.
Same way doing things, yeah.
So if you pulled...
WoW copied Final Fantasy, really? So TP bar for enemies. Wow. Didn't need to do it that way, yeah.
And somebody hit hollowed ground, and they needed it, and then everybody died, you had to wait the 7 minutes for hollowed ground to come back. Your cooldowns resetting sped up prog so much. Oh yeah, and if
that's
you died,
bad.
You lost your food buff. Yeah, every time you died, you had to put your food buff back on. If any group had a bard, which most did, Dragoons were required because they would give a piercing debuff to the boss, and that would buff the bard's damage. Also, there used to be 3 bars. We had HP, MP, and TP. And the physical jobs would all work off of TP. And yeah, guess what? Whenever you push sprint, you would use up your entire TP gauge, and you wouldn't be able to attack anymore. Pretty good for casters and healers, though, because they used MP. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so like stamina. Is that like stamina? Like in Elder Scrolls, like in Skyrim, where you have like stamina if you're not a wizard. Need TP. Yeah, MP was magical endurance, TP was physical endurance. Right, okay. So it kind of is like a stamina then. TP was mana for melee. Okay, kinda. Okay.
And dying would reduce all of your stats. So the more you died, your health would get lower too. Which really did not end up helping your cause, because it just became easier to die then. Overall, tanks had to do a lot more managing with their enmity than they do now. Actually, everybody in the whole party would kind of help out, especially ninjas. They had an ability where they could give their enmity to the tank, and they actually had an ability where they could reduce somebody else's enmity, including the tank. And of course, asking the black mage to make sure they did quelling strikes before they used all their explosions, that was very common. Otherwise, the boss would go and kill the black mage. You know, melees still cry. What's
that? So the DPS could help manage the enmity then. That's pretty cool. Reducing tanks enmity. Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. That's still a thing in WoW. That's still something people can do in WoW. Yeah. I think it took all the aggro management abilities out because of the skill blow. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. You had to manage your aggro back then, yeah. Black mage used to have a buff to lower their hate. Yeah. That's still an issue in WoW right now. Like mages can take aggro off tanks, and they have to like stop attacking and stuff. And like usually like they have like moves to like go invisible and like drop their enmity and stuff. All jobs did enmity points, really. Wow. Now tanks have some aggro shift abilities, but only tanks. Yeah, I can see it on the paladin. You have like shirk and stuff like that.
Cry about positionals now, but back in the day, if you missed a positional, you broke your combo. Dots wouldn't happen. The buffs wouldn't happen if you didn't get the positional. Yeah, it was way worse. Your whole rotation would be messed up. So this is pretty cool.
Controversial opinion. I don't like positionals. I'm not a fan. What do other people think? I'm not a fan of positionals at all. I don't like them. What do you guys think? Really? Yeah, I like Shirk. Never play Monk. Yeah, I've heard Monk. Monk's one of the only DPS classes I've not unlocked. Positionals are fun. Okay, so it's mixed. Some people really like it. Give you pro points. Yeah, I enjoy them. So yeah, it's pretty 50-50 then. That's why I play a tank. Yeah. Don't play Monk. Yeah, I've heard it's all about positionals. Yeah. Yeah, go on. Throw a poll up. Do you like positionals? Yeah, go for it. Front and back is okay. Yeah. Spam true north. Yeah. Yeah. Front versus back versus side. Yeah. It adds an extra level of difficulty, right? If you hit from doing more damage, you won't break your combo. Yeah, it sounds awful back then, where if you missed it, you miss your combo. I'll vote in this poll right now. Positionals, nay. There you go. Share the notes when we get to the quiz. Yeah. They're interesting. I just find them really annoying. Do you remember Demon Wall? Yeah. The big thing. Yeah. Samurai positionals. I've not tried Samurai enough. Yeah, they sound like they're mostly hard on the monk.
Titan Eggy used to be able to be a tank. Yeah, it made a lot more sense. And he had a health bar. They don't have health bars anymore. In fact, there was a whole
Someone used to have health bars.
This fight was way too hard for the tanks at the time, so we would just bring Titan Eggy, and Titan Eggy would tank remove. Reason being is he didn't have to do the tank mechanics. But yeah, Square Enix did not like that, so they nerfed Titan Eggy after that. Something about wanting the tanks to be able to play the game.
Makes sense.
I mean, summoners back then were even able to solo extreme fights because of Titan. So yeah, don't worry, Titan Eggy. I'm sure someday you'll do something good again. So you know how with Scholar, they have two fairies, Eos and Celine? You might be wondering what's the difference. Right now, there's not a difference, but there used to be a big one. So Eos used to be the healer-focused fairy. It did a lot of AoE regens and buffs. But Celine, on the other hand, was the DPS fairy, specifically because it gave everybody haste. Yeah, Celine was the best, especially for black mages. We freaking love Celine. Yeah, but she doesn't do that anymore, so bye.
I think there's a the poll. People love positionals. I think there's an issue with Scholar. I think there's an issue with Scholar because Celine and you get those two fairies and they don't do anything. As someone who didn't know this, I was like, why have I got two fairies? And I kept switching them out, trying to do different things, and they're exactly the same. I think they need to do something to make them different again. Why did they take it out? Celine had an EOE sooner. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So why did they make them the same? In Endwalker job review, they will clear it up. Okay, yeah, because it feels a bit weird right now. Because Scholar was OP. Fair enough. To make things simple. Okay. No one was using Celine, it was more reliable. Okay. It's a balance thing. Okay. They're taking the fairies away. Wow. Complain about having the dance stats. Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
You used to be able to assign points to your attributes. So like you would put 30 points into strength or 30 points into intelligence.
I like that.
So if you wanted to be able to play both Scholar and Summoner, whenever you swapped, you need to buy this item that would reset your stat allocation points between mind and intelligence.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Back in the day, you couldn't actually just queue up for raids in the Duty Finder. You had to go to where the raid was physically located with your whole party of 8 people physically here and queue up at the location. Yeah, and
exactly the same as how I used to be.
Raiders on the server would be here during raid night. You know, reset would happen. There would be people sitting here waiting for their raid to start, or there'd be people over here jumping up and down naked asking for a raid group, you know.
Exactly the same in WoW. Exactly the same. You had to walk all the way to your dungeon and you couldn't teleport. Yep. I think that's a good change. I think that's a good change in all MMOs. They're taking away shields from Paladin, don't they? Ooh, really? Still got an allocation tome, really. I like the idea of adding skill points. I think that's really cool. It gives it like the RPG vibe, but it does take a lot away from. It takes a lot of it adds a lot of effort in, doesn't it?
It was simple times, very simple times. And this would change depending on the tier. Like this is where second coil was. And right over this way, this is where the final coil was. You see this entrance right here? This is where everybody would be. Oh yeah, and by the way, cross-world party finder was not a thing. You could only raid with the people that were on your server. So again, that's why all the raiders were here on raid night. And if you weren't here on raid night, you couldn't raid. But
you couldn't party up.
Now we have a full party finder. And you're going to be able to find a raid no matter what time of day. So ultimately it's better for the game that way. You know how all of our raids nowadays are called savage? It'll say savage difficulty and that's the end game raid. Well, back in A Realm Reborn, the coils were savage. They just didn't have that naming convention yet. These were the end game raids. And when you see a second coil Savage, these were super hard. Their whole idea of making these was how mean can we be? And in these older raids, since they have trash mobs in between the entrance and the boss, you would have somebody join a party earlier on in the week to go in and clear the trash.
Wow.
And that would get you a shortcut. So that way, when you did have raid time during that week, you could just use the shortcut and start attacking the boss right away.
That's smart.
We don't have to do that anymore because now raids are just, you know, you queue in, you're at the boss. And it's unfortunate, but like these older raids, like Coil especially, you can never fight it like how it used to be. Even with...
What's this? What point sound like something that adds lots of... Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. I do miss like skill trees and talent trees and like putting points into different things. But at the end of the day, you just go on Google and you Google the best build. Yeah, completely get that. Oh, you're all talking about like old skills. Scottish Hills. Stone
minimum item level on and no echo, the fight is nerfed from its original state. They don't do this anymore, but they did at the time.
Nice.
Every patch after a raid would come out, they would nerf the previous tier. For instance, in this fight, a ray nod, if it hit you, you would die. One shot, you're dead. And then all of the petrification mechanics in this fight, if you petrified your teammate or somebody else petrified you and you got hit by anything while you were petrified, no matter how much damage it did, you died. Another really cool thing with this fight was that you needed to get...
This fight was a giant... This fight was rough. I really struggled on this fight. This is one of the first fights I really got my ass kicked. I can't remember who was there, but if you did it with us, it was rough. I can't imagine how hard it was back in the day. Yeah, it does look familiar, yeah. Says he was a barrier for 30 minutes. Wow. Those Blackcliff Curse Shrieks were awesome. Yeah, it was pretty cool. You're playing the version of the fight made easier. Yeah, I can't imagine how hard it would have been back in the day. Thank you. Yeah,
get
wow.
a kiter. You see this tether going from me to the raid nod there? You needed a specific person in the raid team to do this job, and it would usually be a summoner. So the party finders would always be like, need summoner, need a kiter, because the kiter would bring the raid nod over here and they would slow it down with their dot, and then the healers would freeze it in place. And you would do that with 4 raid nods, and eventually it just wouldn't spawn anymore. Fun fact with that, in the Savage version of Turn 7, the raid nods keep coming, and there's 2 of them at a time. Yeah, the way that they designed Turn 7 Savage was they looked at how we did strats and how we cheese things and then made it impossible for us to cheese it anymore.
Nice.
Now, in Turn 2, there was this really funny strat. Because Allegan Rot was too hard and nobody wanted to do it, that's the debuff that you gotta pass around, otherwise you explode. What you would do instead was wait for the enrage timer. 12 minutes, and you would bring in 3 healers, and you would pull ADS just as it enraged, and then you would just heal through all the damage that it did instead. See, charge complete in 10 clicks, gotta wait for 0 clicks. 10 more minutes. Oh, so there it is.
You have to proper cheese these fights, really.
Now we pull. It's enraged. Yep, this was much easier to deal with than doing Rod. He just keeps doing this AoE over and over and over again. But you would need 3 healers spam healing you over and over again. Also, Mordona in general didn't always look like this. Yep, there used to be a big tree here. Not sure why they took that out. Everybody would stand up here. You would show off your really cool gear by standing right here. Or maybe even a mount, right? You're like, oh, I earned this really awesome mount. Oh, that actually kind of worked out. And you just sit right here with it and show everybody. But actually, the greatest part about Mordona was this secret little glitch over here. You could do this, bada bing, bada boom, jump up here, jump over this way, crap, go over here, jump across.
Oh, you couldn't fly. You couldn't fly, could you? Yeah, I'm thinking like, why don't you just fly up there, bro? Yeah, you couldn't fly in ARR, can you? Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why, yeah.
That, jump
flexible
on
weapon,
this
yeah.
rope, and look. Now I'm on this rope. See,
that's cool.
Isn't this nice?
That's cool.
It's really cool. Great view up here. But it's not that special anymore because we can just fly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
yeah,
that's it. Actually, there's probably a lot of different things I could go on about the history of Final Fantasy XIV, and maybe I will another time. But for now, that's all I've got. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.
That was good. That was a really good video. As somebody who's new to the If somebody who's new to the game, that was a really good video. That was very insightful. I'll drop a like. Go subscribe to Larryzaur if you're not already. I watched a few of his videos, but I have to avoid a lot of them for spoilies.